Hello, everyone. My name is Maddie Jones, and I'm the editor of Plus Model Magazine. And today I am so honored to have this time with Phil Ryan, CEO of City Chic. For those of you that do not know about City Chic and their story, how they're furthering the reach in the plus size fashion industry, get ready because there is a lot to unpack. I want to start by quickly sharing my personal connection to City Chic. My business partner and I started the business about 15 years ago. And about 6 months in, I get an email from City Chic and they wanted to know about advertising and other things. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's amazing. They actually got the ball rolling for us in the US and they're all the way in Australia. Then fast forward a couple of years later, they come to New York, they have an event and Phil was there. And during the event, he's talking to about 16 or 17 bloggers, and that's what they were called back then. They were not influencers. And after he was done, I remember thinking one thought, and I still remember this. It was, he sees us. The way that Phil, the way that he spoke to all of us was so encouraging. So Phil, I am extremely grateful for your time today. Thank you so much and welcome.
Thank you, Maddie. That's very kind words. And I think you've done just as much for us as we have for you in America. So I can't thank you enough.
Thank you so much. So let's get started. Let's chat about the ethos of the brand and how your customer is and how she has evolved with the brand City Chic.
Well, I started the brand in 2006 in Sydney, Australia. Not many of you might know that over in America, but at the time we were just a physical retail store. We had a few little stores and I did a focus group up and down the coast and went and met all these ladies. And it was so interesting because, everyone had different tastes in fashion and what they liked, but every one of them looked at each other and said, where do you shop? How do you shop? What are you getting? And what I really saw all that time ago was an emotional need, an emotional connection that lady was looking for, somewhere to go that she could own and she could be. And my partner, Carly, that you know well, and we termed a few words that we took out of those meetings. We said she was bold, she was sexy, she was glam, and she was chic. And those 4 words have been tested by the biggest advertising agencies all around the world because our brand was on the up, so we had to get it checked. And it's always come back to what Carly and I saw from those ladies, and that they were just the shopper, the plus size lady that wanted to be, recognized and looked at. And as you know, in 2006, Maddie, it was very different. Yeah. I think what's different about our brand is you've met Lucy and Courtney, my 2 head of designs. They wear the clothes. If you listen to Lucy's story, she is this woman. I met Lucy in 2008 and we've been together ever since. And her son was throwing spaghetti at me. It was a crazy time. And I'd lost my head of design at the time had gone on mat leave. And Lucy just told me her story, right? She told me we didn't talk about clothes. We didn't talk about that. Now, she'd worked at a big fashion brand in Australia, a fast fashion brand, but she always had that feeling that I know a lot of ladies have. And she was just what she's done with City Chic from a design and product point of view. It's unbelievable. And Courtney, her offsider, was our model for the first, you met Courtney, was our model for the first 10 years. So yeah, it's great. Then, as you said, Maddie, when we launched in America, we launched with you. I remember the cover page. I remember people in Australia calling me going, wow, you're on the front page. I'm like, yeah, of course I am. But, you talk about ethos, right? I think that the real thing that emotional connection we saw, Maddie, is that we don't own City Chic. She does. And believe me, like you see our social media, we'll say a customer will say something and then we don't even respond. They talk about it each other, both good and bad. Like, I don't like to shy away from the bad, but really our ethos is to be all about her and make sure, hopefully when she puts our clothes on, she stands a little bit taller, right? Absolutely. And just feel that level of confidence.
Absolutely. I love that. So in my opinion, and definitely in yours, City Chic is glam and sexy and made for the curvy and confident woman. And then Avenue came into the mix. So tell me about your decision to add the retailer Avenues to the City Chic family.
Look, first of all, Maddie, every woman should look her best. At least have the opportunity. I don't care age, demographic, everything. I like to think everyone can look their best and hopefully we can help them. As I said before, I'm really proud of the emotional connection that City Chic has with our customers. And what happened when you gave me Avenue, Maddie, what your viewers might not know is that a phone call from Maddie to me personally in July 2019, and she said they're going to sell the e-commerce assets. And without that, I wouldn't be where I am today. And I will always be grateful to Maddie J. Don't you worry about that. She's the best. But what I saw at that time, I read all their Facebook pages, and I saw these ladies talking about their brand the same way that I saw in Australia people talking about CC. Now it's a different style, right? But that doesn't change the emotional need, right? And I make garments. My parents had a big manufacturing business, so I'm a rag trader. My job is to make clothes, and making a good dress or hopefully a well-made knit top, it's the same process. So we're able to overlay our design ethos with a different customer set that had the same emotional connection. And I've also been lucky enough. You've met Eva too, I think.
Yes.
Eva's my head of design. Eva wears the clothes. She ran a plus size business in South Africa. She's a South African lady called Donna Claire. So she then ran another one in New Zealand. And her and I met in a chance meeting, and she's worked with me now for 6 years. But she like Lucy has that ethos, right? And that's so important. But Avenue was just it was you, Maddie. Without you, I wouldn't have it.
All I did was ask. That's all I did. I was like, maybe they'll be able to save Avenue. From the customer perspective, I was just really sad that it was going away. So I can tell you how thankful I am that you were able to kind of pick it up and save Avenue for us. And most of these changes happened like right before, right, 2019, and during one of the most unprecedented times in modern history. How do you feel COVID has impacted the fashion industry as a whole? And were there any learning lessons that you walked away from? I'm moving with.
Yeah, you know what? It just reiterated to me that we have to put her first, right? Follow her needs, listen to her, and be adaptive. I think is the key. And that's, to me, a good business strategy and a good business run and a good customer focus is right in the good times and it's right in the bad times. I
Yeah.
think what it taught me is be brave. We bought a lot of inventory during this period, and you might notice on our websites now, if you go and have a look, I said, you know what, this is going to come back, and I'm going to be ready, and I'm going to be here for her, because she's going to run out and go, I want. And other businesses were pulling back inventory and doing this and doing that, but that's not putting her at the middle. To me, it was like, hey, she wants to feel like that. I guess the biggest impact I had operationally was logistics. It was just an absolute nightmare, and we're sort of still recovering. I think it's, just made everything very hard. Workforce was hard to get. Parcels were hard to go. We express posted everything all through October, November, and December at a huge cost. But I can't put her first and not do that. We didn't tell people we were doing it. It was a nightmare. It cost us a lot of money. But to me, you can't say you put her first and then not make those hard decisions. The two things I feel blessed about, Maddie, is number one, my team, the support I got from all of the team in both Australia, America, and now England, is awesome. But most importantly, blessed by our customers. They supported us and they helped us through, and they gave us the cash flow to pay our team. Right? There were times, Maddie, where I'm like, are we going to be able to make the wages? Are we going to do this? And we got into more casual wear. We've shipped, and what it's done for me now is really give us a whole different lifestyle. We do much more t-shirts. We do a lot more casual clothes, whereas a lot of your ladies that know us for dresses, as by the beautiful dress you have on now, you've got to put an expletive on there. But how resilient our lady is, and how blessed I am she supported us.
Wow, that's amazing. So now we have this group of retailers, right, under one umbrella. Let's talk about World of Curves, because a lot of people are talking about that. We see World of Curves, CC World of Curves. Tell me about World of Curves and what it actually means, and everyone that's under that umbrella, because now you mentioned England, and that would be.
Yes. Yep. Evans, look, I'll start by saying back in 2006, Maddie, Carly and I said, we're going to be the leading global plus size fashion brand. And for a couple of people with a couple of stores in Australia, that's pretty ostentatious. And what we have grown up a little bit more, and we call it leading a world of curves. And we took that world of curves and said, hey, what this lady wants to see is assortment and different options and lifestyles, from the dress you have from Laurelette to our evening dresses with CC to our more casual knit dresses through Avenue and Evans. And she wants that all in a place where she can feel comfortable and she can feel themselves and meet and talk to and hear from like-minded people, and hopefully great people like yourself. But really, that journey's just begun for us. As we sort of grow around the world, we really are now a world of curves. I sometimes pinch myself and say, how can this be my life? You talked about Evans. Now, some of your viewers may or may not know Evans, but when we started in 2006, Evans was the best brand in the world, I thought. And I was like trying to be them, and now they're part of us. So
I
it's
mean,
an amazing result. Yeah, it's an amazing result.
yeah. And what people also may not know is that you also have hips and curves. So you truly do
Good.
have an assortment for everyone. You have
Literally.
casual, you have the dresses, you have lingerie. I mean, it's just so beautifully done. And I do want to add on that I went on this morning to the Avenue website, and it is absolutely amazing. They have this online catalog. It's interactive. It's beautiful. The imagery, guys, you have to get on because it's so beautiful. But lastly, I just want to say thank you so much for all the hard work to you and your entire team. You mentioned Lucy and Courtney and Nikki and Carly. Your entire team has been amazing, and they truly do see us, the customer, but it always starts at the top. I always believe that with a company, it always starts at the top. So I can't thank you enough, Phil, for always being you and always seeing us from the very, very start. So thank you so much for your time.
My pleasure, Maddie, and thank you for listening. And have a great day, everyone.
Thank you so much. And everybody, make sure you check them out at avenue.com and World of Curves.
Bye.